So you want to make a baby? Is it about counting days? Or is it about courting and dates? Whatever it is, the 5 Show's got it covered, baby.
And a love story that touched so many. Join Raylene and Sue In as they renew their marriage vows live on The 5 Show.
Hi, I'm Ben Lai.
And I'm Yasmin. Welcome to The 5 Show, TGIM.
Yes, that's true. Before we get into the show proper, though, the 5 Show would like to extend our sympathy and condolences to the victims and families of the Nepal earthquake.
Now, the Singapore Red Cross is extending aid to the people of Nepal, and we can do our part to help. Now, for details on how to make a donation, please go to their website, which is just up there.
And now on to tonight's show. It's all about marital bliss and making babies.
Now, the thing is, marital bliss may lead to couples wanting to make babies, but making babies not necessarily may lead to marital bliss.
In fact, it can be downright stressful. Just ask the pandas Kai Kai and Jia Jia.
Yeah.
A recent news report on the pandas says it all.
People were watching them go at it. I mean, give them some space.
Unless you're an exhibitionist,
Exactly.
I mean, how can you perform?
Poor pandas. But anyway, human couples, I guess, also face baby-making problems, and it doesn't help when you have sort of well-meaning and misinformed relatives adding pressure to the situation.
With lots of old wives' tales.
Yeah.
Watch that spouse for house couple, John and Jessica. They have to deal with lots and lots of stuff. While our expert gynecologist, Dr. Ann Tan, gives useful tips on increasing your baby-making chances. Let's have a look.
Hello, Jessica. It's my lucky day. Are you pregnant? TCM sale for pregnant mummies. Jessica, are you pregnant? Are you pregnant?
One of the ways of increasing the chance of having a baby is to have sex when the egg comes out. And therefore, we need to find out when the time of ovulation is. Ovulation occurs somewhere in the middle of the cycle, and the egg only lives for 24 hours.
Okay, when is your red dot special?
Right. There's a sale going on?
When is your last period?
Everybody has a perfect 28-day cycle, then day 14 from the first day of the menses will be when the egg comes out. However, not everybody is a robot, so we have cycles that vary from 26 days up to even 35 days. So it's not a golden rule that eggs must come out 14 days after the first day of the cycle. To accurately tell us when egg is coming out, we can use the urine test kit so that it can tell us whether that signal from the brain is going to occur and when it's going to occur.
You're sexy, tiger!
Wow! Good. The two of you are working very hard.
Having sex at the time of ovulation obviously is the best way to get pregnant, but the more the merrier doesn't necessarily get you there. I think if you can try on consecutive days over the period of ovulation, that will give you your best shot. Keeping sperms in for up to a week prior to ovulation is not going to help you either. Sperms are actually better if you ejaculate every few days.
Now, drink this tonic, okay?
What's funny? Why can't I have the yummy one that you made the other day?
Oh, no. This is much better, more potent.
For women, particular advices would be to take at least folic acid to reduce the risk of fetal abnormalities, and also to not to overdo the exercise in the second half of her cycle when she is trying for a pregnancy. For the guys, over-exercising in terms of lots of heat being produced, for instance, long-distance cycling, will definitely decrease the sperm production.
How can you wear this making my grandchildren? Even my dead great-great-great-great-great-grandmother wouldn't wear this in her coffin.
It is not true that men cannot wear tight pants when they're trying for a baby. Of course, you do not wear tight pants all the time. We would also like to hang it loose at some point because excessive heat and pressure is definitely going to damage the sperm production, so you should be careful how much tightness you want.
It's kind of like baking. I make sure that your oven is working.
It is also a misconception that women's fertility only drops after the age of 35. In fact, from the time when she starts being fertile in the early 20s, her fertility actually starts to drop. 35 is used an arbitrary number where we count the risk of Down syndrome. not the age of fertility decline.
I see. Jessica, good.
You know, we may laugh at John and Jessica's situation, but it's a very real problem couples face. So while Dr. Tan gave useful medical advice on increasing your chances of conceiving, let's talk to someone about how to create the mood for procreation.
Please welcome clinical sexologist, Dr. Martha Lee. So that's the right term, sexologist.
Yeah, I'm a sexologist.
Wow. Okay, so maybe you can share with us some things that couples can do to promote chances of conceiving.
Yeah, so besides some of the things that Dr. Antan mentioned just now about being very mindful of your diet and exercise, there's also the need to schedule time for physical intimacy. When you schedule time, you actually are better able to create the mood so that it actually feels good.
Right.
That's like making an appointment.
That sounds quite weird to me because won't you lose all that spontaneity and,
Exactly.
and romance?
Yeah, I get this a lot in my work. However, there are actually two kinds of people. One kind of people is a more spontaneous kind, and the other kind are more responsive. So spontaneous desire and responsive desire. So these, the second group, they actually need the touch in order for them to start to feel awakened and to feel amorous. Whereas the other one, well, you know, they usually are the ones who initiate. So it can be very challenging when we live in modern day, where it's very stressful, busy, and all that.
Okay, will this scheduling or timetabling eliminate the resentment that one half may feel if, you know, he or she always gets rejected?
Like, or maybe not compatible. One is the responsive and one is the spontaneous sort of thing.
So this is when the resentment comes in, because there often is a pattern of the way they prefer to be touched. So one would be more shy also. That makes it very difficult for them to initiate. And this is the reason why it is very important for them to schedule it so that they can take turns planning it as well. When you take turns planning it, you can do what you would like to do, and that actually makes things really fun.
Yeah, I guess so. In the end, you know, you think about it, I mean, a lot of things, you know, if you want to have a baby, you've got to have a goal, right? It's like going to work. You may not want to go to work, but you still have to go to work.
That's true. It's like a project. It's like undertaking a project, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, what if you already have kids? How do you find time for intimacy?
When people have kids, when you know, they often find it very, very challenging, because then the kids take priority. It's very important to block out the time, even if there's some flexibility around it, so that it's more likely to happen. Things that we don't plan doesn't happen, and then there's a matter of priority. If it's not important to them, they're not going to make it happen. Then after some time, they complain, where's the spark? We love each other, but we are not in love.
Yeah, so it's all about scheduling an appointment and making it happen. Thank you so much, Dr. Lee, for joining us here today. Planned intimacy is the key phrase we're taking away from this little chat, I think.
And in a while, we will meet a couple who have been together for 47 years. Their love story went viral and touched the hearts of so many. And they will be renewing their wedding vows right here on The 5 Show.
In the meantime, it's over to Jill Newbroda for tonight's news headlines. Hey, Jill.
That's right. Now, coming up on News 5, we have first footage of climbers being rescued from the slopes of Mount Everest and why it's being painfully difficult to bring more people down. Plus, in my hands is the newly unveiled SEA Games medal. Hear the story behind its design and don't miss out on a sneak peek of what you, the spectator, can expect from the closing ceremony. All the details at 9 p.m.
Welcome back to The 5 Show.
Now, in a bit, we'll meet a couple who share. See, I'm so overwhelmed. We'll meet a couple who share how they met back in 1968. Little did Raylene and Suen realize that the video of their love story will go viral and touch the hearts of so many.
Here's an excerpt of the clip.
So we met in Mr. and Mrs. Spriggs' boarding house in 1965. I was coming home from work one very rainy day, and you turned up at Kilburn station with a spare umbrella, and you simply said, I thought I'd come and meet you so you wouldn't get wet. And I knew then that this was a really special person. I can remember when we were walking down Bond Street in London. It was quite a pleasant evening, and it was near to Christmas, and we were holding hands, which seemed natural, and somebody spat at me and said prostitute. And I don't look like a prostitute, and we learnt from that incident we should not display any affection in public because our type of union wasn't really acceptable. I remember not so much you said, will you marry me? We sort of knew we would get married somehow, and certainly didn't say, shall we get a flat together? He put the ring on my finger and that was it.
Yes, sir.
Your fate was sealed. So Ren had a stroke about 6 years ago, and he also has cognitive impairment. When somebody has cognitive impairment, sadly it can change that person from a person with a lovely sense of humour and very courteous and quiet into someone who doesn't smile or laugh as much anymore and who needs jollying along. It really changes the whole personality. And then at the same time, I had little problems of skin cancer and I needed radiotherapy, and the radiotherapy unfortunately damaged my eye, so we depend on each other now. 46 years that we've just celebrated, August 31st. We still love each other. He's just my best mate, my best friend.
So touching, my best friend and my best mate.
Such a beautiful little video there. Raylene and Suren's story was so touching, the Five Show felt we just had to do something for them.
So we got them together and we planned for them to renew their marriage vows right here, live on The Five Show. Ladies and gentlemen, Raylene and Suren Tan.
Good evening and welcome to the Vow Renewal ceremony of Mr. and Mrs. Tan Su-ren. The family and friends being invited this evening are special people to them, who have deeply touched their hearts and be a part of their journey they have taken together to arrive to these 47 anniversaries. You have come today to witness their ongoing commitment to each other. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Tan, do I understand that you are here on your own free will for the purpose of renewing your marriage vows?
Yes.
Now, please face each other and join your hand and say your pledge together. Begin with Mr. Tan first.
We've had a happy...
Yes, I love you.
Speak.
Yes,
We've had a happy 46
we are very
years.
happy together.
We've been together for 50 years, 50 memorable years, and for 4 decades you loved and cared for me unselfishly. And this past 10 years, it's been my privilege to care for you. I enjoy caring for you and being your wife. Thank you.
Well, very nice. Yeah.
Okay, take this ring and put upon the second last finger of each other's left hand.
All right.
Please look into each other's eye and repeat after me.
Oh, yeah,
With
okay.
this ring,
With this ring,
I choose this day
I choose this day
as I have every day
as I have every day
for the past 47 years
for the past 47 years
to further our love.
to further our love.
I love you.
我爱你。
I love you.
谢谢。
Mr. and Mrs. Tan, as both of you has renewed your marriage vows before me, and to continue and promise each other to continue to live together in matrimony, and has solemnly promised constant faith and abiding love, I wish you happiness in your years ahead together. May I present you Mr. and Mrs. Tan. You may finally hold each other's hand. Congratulations.
Welcome back to the Five Show. Unlike sushi breakfast.
wiping away my tears. I'm such a crybaby.
But you know what? We have just witnessed something so beautiful. Raylene and Suren renewing their marriage vows right here on the Five Show.
It was very, very touching.
Yep, and they're here with us on the couch. Hi, guys.
Hello. So, you know, how are you guys feeling right now? I can tell you how I'm feeling, but I think you don't want to know. But how are you guys feeling?
Feeling very happy that we've been able to do this. Thank you.
Thank you for being on our show. Now, so many people saw your video and were so touched by it. In fact, Michelle, the wedding boutique owner who made Raylene's beautiful gown, now she initially didn't want to take on the project because she was just so busy.
Yeah, but you know, after watching the video, she was so moved, she offered to make it from scratch.
Wow.
And spent a non-stop 48 hours to get Raylene's gown ready.
And can I just say, you look amazing in it. You look so beautiful in it. But talking about gown, we actually have your original, the gown that you wore on your big day 47 years ago. And there it is. It's so beautiful. But something that strikes me, it is not white. You're going to share with us why?
Because we were in London and Suren's brother was studying in London at the University of Nottingham. And so he bought Nottingham lace, which of course is so world famous, and he bought it in that colour.
Right.
So that was my wedding gown, and I was happy to wear that colour.
Right. So this is the first time that you are finally wearing a white bridal gown.
Yes.
Were you really looking forward to that?
I feel, yes, it's really a beautiful thing.
You look beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the accessories and the shoes as well, which we've got here as well.
There's something special about those too. There's a story behind the lace, am I right?
Indeed, yes. The lace from the dress, Suren cut spare lace, and he himself stitched the lace onto my shoes and onto my bag.
Wow.
He did all that.
That is a labor of love. And it's so beautifully done. I love how you preserved it. Now, Suren, what was your first impression of Raylene all those years ago?
Simple and friendly.
And what was your first impression of Suren?
A really courteous and old-fashioned gentleman who made everybody feel welcome.
So nice.
I'd like you to cry again.
No, I won't cry again. I won't cry again. No. But your marriage, when you guys, when you guys first got married, you guys faced issues, right? Because of being mixed race. How difficult was it to overcome that?
It was very challenging. This is in the 1960s. It was unpleasant, but we managed. We chose not to be bothered by people's comments and chose not to fight back. just to mind our business, and we're still minding our business together.
Just to
So
slide it off you.
slide it off.
And how long have you been living in Singapore?
We
Since
came,
1970.
yes, 1970.
Okay.
Wow, that's really quite a long
Suren
time.
is a
40,
Singaporean.
45 years.
Yes.
Somehow.
Suren, when did you realize that you love Raylene? Wow. Oh. I know
Somehow
it's many years ago.
in the house that
in
we
the
get
boarding
together
house.
somehow.
Because we lived in a boarding
In a
house
boarding house together.
with many boarders, we saw each other all the time.
And in the morning we have breakfast, at night we watch television. I think somehow
It
we get
just
together.
clicked.
No, so it wasn't exactly love at first sight. It just sort of it just sort of grew.
That's why they're best friends.
Yes, we were best friends.
Still our best
Still
friends.
best friends.
No, maybe you can share with all our couples out there, 47 years and still so in love. It's beautiful. If there was a tip that you could share with everybody, advice on how to keep
the magic alive.
Yes, what would it be?
Compromise.
Compromise, I think.
Compromise and
Give
don't
and take.
give and take. Don't worry about
Yeah.
minor things. Compromise, and never let the sun set on an argument.
So you always resolved it. No sleeping on it and going to bed angry.
Never, not ever.
I like that. Was that something that both of you decided? Or it was just something
it just happened.
Wow.
Okay. Well, I guess these things sort of just happen, you know,
Yeah.
47 years of a
When two people are in
marriage.
sync.
You know, Raylene, Suren, thank you so much for being here with us. It's a great
our
honor to have
pleasure.
you. You're such an inspiration. And because you're so gracious in sharing your story with us, the 5 Show is a surprise for you.
You guys are going on a staycation, a one-night stay at the exclusive Valley Wing at Shangri-La Hotel, Singapore. It's a gorgeous,
Free
gorgeous,
flow champagne.
yes, and one-way limousine transfer to the hotel. And that's not all.
We're not quite done. We also have, you know, we know you're really close to your family. So on top of the staycation, you and your family will get a dinner treat at the hotel's Southern Italian restaurant, The Waterfall, worth $500.
Amazing Italian food. You have to have their seafood stew. Yay! So we really hope you have a fantastic time. Thank you so much once again, and here's to many more beautiful years ahead for the both of you.
It's been our pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
You know what? Let's get the family of Suren and Raylene on.
Come on, guys.
And we'll see you tomorrow night on the 5 Show.
See ya.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Take
Come on,
care.
guys.
You can wipe away those tears, guys.